Harmony. Harmony is the name of the topic today. If you saw the live yesterday, it was called Overwhelm, and which is kind of the opposite of harmony. If you didn't see that, I'm going to review it really, really fast, and it was a waste of time because it's just going to be reviewed right now, and the real meat and potatoes is going to be in this one. So, haha, to you people who wasted all that time watching yesterday's live. You didn't need to. I'm teasing you. Overwhelm, yesterday I was talking about the brain and the heart, right? And so the brain is where we have thought, where fear lives. Hang on, I just want to lower the volume. I forgot to do that. It's where fear lives. It's where we get our dark thoughts, and then the heart is like the light that we can shine on that. It's where our art comes from, and we can shine the light on the dark to sort of sweep it away and feel better. And yay, life is great, right? So that was kind of how we can get overwhelmed and stuff. But there's another side to the coin, and that's harmony, because while the brain has the darkness and the worry and the anxiety and the anxiousness and the living in the past and worrying about the trauma that we used to deal with, and that's kind of creating the life that we have now, and also we can live in the future where we're constantly worried about the worst case scenario over everything, the brain is also where we get our thought and desire from. It's like what we want out of life. We think about it, and we can think about it and picture it and imagine it, and we do that with our mind. The heart is where the emotion stems from. So when we imagine what we want out of life, or when we imagine a piece of art, we get an emotion from that, and it can lead up to, love, appreciation, and all those great emotions. And harmony is when those two are aligned, when they are in sync. So overwhelm, disharmony, that's when they're not. That's when you want something but you don't have it, and you're focused on the lack of it. But harmony is when they're aligned. Now, here are the issues with this, is that a lot of times it's usually the brain that's out of whack, right? Would you agree with this? Our brain, well, clearly the brain being out of whack causes the heart to go out of whack, because then we feel the negative emotions. But we don't generally start with the negative emotions and then think like, why do I feel sad? Oh, it's because of this thing. No, it's usually something happens, we notice it, or we remember something and we're thinking about it, and now we feel crappy about it. It usually goes in that direction. And that's because when it comes to our minds and our thinking, we're usually kind of lazy. It's easy to imagine an old trauma, or to imagine a worst case scenario, because these things are kind of built in. It's like we've programmed ourselves to think this way. So it's an easy way to think. It's harder to think about something new because we haven't practiced it yet. So crappy thoughts are practiced. New thoughts, which are positive thoughts, are not practiced. So we get lazy and we do the practiced stuff, right? And that turns to dark and past traumas and bad futures and all that stuff. And then because of that, we don't activate our hearts on purpose, and we're kind of going in default mode, and we're not activating those positive emotions. So harmony, it's easy for us. This is why I bring this up, because as artists, we have a trick. And I was talking about this yesterday, and the reason I made harmony the thing today is because I thought of an even cooler way to say it, or a more focused way to say it. We have this trick where we can kind of use art, the creation of art, the use of our talent, to sort of jumpstart the brain into thinking about what we want to create. And then in the creation process, our heart gets back online and aligned with our brain, and now we're kind of they're working together, and we're feeling really good about it. And now our brain is thinking about this thing we want to create, and our heart is right next to it going, yeah, let's create this, and it feels really good to do. And we call that being in the zone, getting in the groove, riding in the pocket. We have all these expressions for it, and whatever it is in your genre of art. But you know what I mean. It's being in the zone when you're creating, where you're just like, time doesn't even exist anymore, and you're just working on your thing, and then it's like, wow, it's beautiful, right? And here's what strikes me, is that as artists, we have this innate ability to do that in creating our art. But as human beings, we kind of forgot how to innately do it in creating our life. Except it's the same thing. It's the same talent. Life, we create it. It doesn't happen to us. We create it. Just like art doesn't happen. If I said to you, oh, look, I bought this blank canvas and I'm just waiting for a picture to appear on it with oil paints and stuff, you'd be like, you're an idiot. You know, that's not how it works. You have to think about it. You have to design it. You have to create it. You have to make it. You have to do it. But when I say to you, oh, I woke up today and I'm having breakfast and I'm just waiting for a phone call to tell me what crappy thing is going to go on today, you'd go like, yeah, I hear that. Right? We just expect that the world is going to throw some crap on our canvas and that's going to be my life. Except we would never expect the world to throw some crap on our canvas and that's our painting, you know, or our dance or our thing, right? I just say painting because it's easy to understand, but understand that I'm talking about whatever your art is. So why do we do that? Why do we expect our life to just kind of happen, but we would never expect our art to just kind of happen? We get into it. We get into the groove. We can do the same thing with our life. That's what I'm trying to say. If we expect it to happen in our art, there's no resistance to it. When you know what I'm talking about. You know what that feeling is when you're just in the groove, right? You're in the zone. It's happening. It's just flowing out of you. And yeah, I know there's times when it's hard. And, you know, I did the blank canvas thing yesterday. It's not always there, but you kind of know it's going to be there again sooner or later. Right? It's going to happen again. It's not just lost. I didn't forget how to sing. I didn't forget how to paint or draw or dance or whatever. But when it comes to life, sometimes we just feel like, I don't know how to make this happen. But it's the same thing. Life and art are the same thing. Art is just a metaphor for life. And you're watching me in real time, day by day, create my art. Because I am working on a TV show called Quantasy, and I'm trying to write the TV show, and the way that I'm writing it is by doing it live every day, and then I go, that was good, but I want to do it better than that. That's what I'm doing. That's what this is, and you're helping me, and you guys are amazing, because look at all these comments. Jeez, I have a lot of reading to do. Okay, I'm going to end this one here and get to your comments, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's see what we got. Hopefully you're still here. Okay, TJ's here. What's up, buddy? Mikey's here. Good to be back. Hello, Mikey. I'm glad you're here. How's your afternoon going, Bobby? Yeah, it's real weird. Yeah, the Earth thing, right. Yes. Yeah, so TJ's in Australia, so it's morning there. Occasionally what happens is my wife has to go pick up my daughter from work, and so since she's leaving the house, it's quieter upstairs. There are fewer people, so nobody has to be quiet or anything. So on these nights, I do them a little bit later. It's 7 p.m., 7:10 right now p.m. So but sometimes I do them more at like 5:30 my time. What's up, guys? Says Jan. How y'all doing? How you all doing? First live from me. How you all doing? Is that what they say in your neck of the woods? That sounds like the South. For here. First live for me. This is your first live? For real? Okay, I didn't know that. I thought you've been on like a couple of them. It's Mrzinski. Mrzinski under my new assumed name. Cool, I'll just call you Mrzinski. Yes, all right, fine. TJ says, welcome, or Mikey's good. I know it's Mrzinski. I know who you are. I'm asking you which name you prefer. Mikey's good? Okay, then I'll call you Mrzinski. God. I don't know what God means. Okay, our God and Savior. Okay, I misspelled good. Okay, you guys are funny. Let's see. Ray is here. Hello, Ray. I got lost in responses to my question, but I'm here now. Cool. TJ says depression, worrying about and reliving past events, anxiety, predicting the future in a negative way, worrying about events that haven't happened or most probably won't. Art is the savior. Okay, cool. Harmony, everybody working together for a shared interest. My interpretation. That's a cool interpretation. I like it. So, depression is reliving past traumas, worrying about a negative future event, right? Art is, in your words, the savior, your way out of that, your way through the darkness, right? And harmony is everybody working together for a shared interest. So, okay, so your interpretation of the word harmony is a collective harmony, and I think Ray was thinking that also in her comment earlier today. If you saw it, it doesn't matter if you didn't, but she said something about how everybody has different thoughts of what harmony is and stuff. My reason for the use of harmony is the alignment between your own brain and your own heart, like the alignment in yourself. So If you are aligned with other people, that's wonderful. But one thing that I will always stress is you need to be aligned within yourself first, and then just put your own art out there. I'll always say, make stuff that really lights you up. Don't worry about making stuff that'll light up other people, because if it doesn't light you up, you're not going to be able to continue it. You might start a project and not finish it because this is lame. I don't like this. I don't write country music, not because people don't like country music. Lots of people like country music, but I don't. I don't like country music, so I don't want to sing that song. I don't want to write that stuff. I don't want to play that way. So I do the music that I like. I write the stories that I like. I write the stories that I would like to read. I make the TV show that I would like to watch, because people like me, they'll probably like to watch it too. And if they don't, that's okay. Not everybody likes my stuff. I don't expect everybody to be a Bobby fan. You don't have to be. I don't know why you wouldn't be, but you don't have to be. I'm teasing you. TJ, good to see you here. Not only can art save the person suffering, did I skip anything? Not only can art save the person suffering, it can help others suffering find inspiration to find healthy ways to cope, like art, writing, photography, etc., where money and time are not worries. Yeah, that's another thing too, is like one of the reasons that I did it as a Facebook group rather than just start a YouTube channel and throw things out there was so that we can kind of find inspiration in each other. I need inspiration just as much as anybody else. I represent myself here as the host of this group, but that doesn't mean I'm like the be-all, end-all. The only rules I make for this group are please don't post this kind of stuff because I don't want to see the group go off the rails in this weird direction. But as far as like what kind of art you can make and what we can talk about spiritually, that's up to you guys. This is your group. Take it and run with it. Network with each other. Meet up with each other. Do things on your own. Come on my lives or don't come on my lives. It doesn't matter. Find what you need in this group and run with it. And if there's nothing that you're finding of value in this group, then it's not the group for you. And that's the end of that. But we can all find inspiration, and I find so much inspiration from you guys, which again is why I did a Facebook group rather than just like a YouTube channel where it's just me talking to nothing, hoping that people are watching them. But this way I get a lot of interaction. I get this. I get these comments. I get the comments in the group. I get the posts. I get to look at it and go like, wow, this is amazing. So I'm really excited about that. Man, I gotta learn how to breathe. Jan says, as for positive thought and emotion practice, I love, that looks like a German word, natural flow. There's these moments when I realize the crap I've been thinking about the past couple of minutes, I become conscious, you could say. I'm going to pause it right there. Yeah, you suddenly realize that your brain is in default mode, and now suddenly instead of being where your body is the mind and you're just sort of thinking all the pre-programs that you have in your head, suddenly you step outside and now you're the observer and you're like, who's thinking this? Why am I thinking this? And where did this come from? And why do I think this all the time? But now once you're that person, once you're that observer, observing yourself doing that, you're not doing it anymore. So that's a really good step. That's a good thing to do. That's the moment I utilize for practice and deliberately imagine some cool future or remember some cool past experience deliberately. Yes. Works wonders because it takes the forcing out of it. That's really great. I like that. That's a good way to do it. I'm curious how you do it. Like, do you have a daily practice that you do? Is it meditation, or is it just something that like, oh, I remembered to do it? I'm curious about that. Mikey says, our innate common level of consciousness, the me mind, does not give in to the real self, the free mind, easily. It takes vision and work. It really does take vision and work. It takes deliberate work. And there's a word I kind of glossed over earlier in the live where I said, then your heart, you're not activating it on purpose because your brain is just all that monkey chatter where you're running the programs in your head, the past traumas or the future problems. And then you're not getting your heart in the game either, and it's in default mode, right? So that's really good. This takes deliberate work because it is so easy for us to just kind of default into those old ways of thinking, and then those old feelings pop up, and you can get trapped there. Lots of people get trapped there and live there for decades, and that's why so many people on this planet just kind of live mundane lives. But I'm thinking here that we as artists have this innate talent where we know how to get in the groove with our art. We can take that skill and apply it to life. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I want to make my TV show about. And that's what I want to make this group about, among other things. But I'm going to be talking about this a lot, and I'm going to be working on this. And you're free to put your 2 cents in as well. TJ says, so art is a way to think about life planning. Yeah, the way that you, all right, planning, I suppose, but I'm just saying art is a metaphor for life. But if you're planning, the way that you approach art is a good way. So there's 2 things here. Sorry, that one messed me up a little bit because the word planning, I wasn't 100% sure what you meant. And then my mind was going off in different directions with that, and I was trying to say it, and nothing came out of the mouth correctly. But so what you said earlier was that you sense using art, you like using art as a way to get through the dark. Like if you're stuck in something, if you're trapped in one of those default modes of thinking, sometimes art is just a good way to jumpstart yourself and get yourself out of that way of thinking, become that observer, as Jan put it, become the free mind, as Mikey put it, and we can use art as sort of an inspirational action to take to get us into that new mode, and then try and take it from there and get in the groove. And what I'm adding to that is we know how, as artists, to get in the groove with our art. We can get in the groove with our life using the same skills. Utilize. Yeah, I saw what you did, Jan. And Ray, watching the seeds grow. Yes. Yeah, we're planting seeds all the time. Jan, create your life like a piece of art. Let it unfold really and see it as a process, not fixed points, but rather a growing, unfolding masterpiece. Yeah, I like that. Not as fixed points. We think of life as fixed points, right? And my daughter is going to college next year. And right now, life seems to have a lot of fixed points, especially at that age, because finish high school, go to college, finish college, work, do things, right? And this is what we're taught our entire lives. And despite the fact that I'm me and I'm her father and her mother is of the same mindset as me with life, she is still, by law, forced to be in this school system that teaches you these step-by-step pieces of life. And then what happens when you get out of that system? You're just put in another system, work, that now doesn't seem to have all the fixed points, and you're just sort of ambiguously what's the word? Floating around in this like time, and the next fixed point is sometime in your far-flung future when you're in your 60s or 70s or something, retirement, except we don't even have that system really anymore. But yeah, we're forcing these points where life is really a blank canvas, and you can start with a blank canvas any day that you like. We can all start with a blank canvas tomorrow and be like, you know what? I'm making a new painting of my life, and it's going to be this. And I'm going to get in the zone, and I'm going to make that. That's what I'm talking about. So harmony is your heart, TJ says, and mind working together to build your life in a sense. Yeah, not in a sense. That's it. Your heart and your mind working together to build your life. Not in a sense. In literally, that's what I mean. Okay. Jan says, alignment is super amazing to experience. Crazy how stuff just magically comes together and creates an aligned path. It is, right? We know what that feels like. Even outside of art, we know what that feels like. It's just that I feel like when it comes to making art, we have less resistance to it. We kind of expect I'm going to get into my art, and most of the time I'm going to get in the zone. But when it comes to life, we love it when it happens, but we don't expect it to happen. At least not all the time, and at least not all of us. Maybe you do, and that's great, but I think we should. I think we should expect it. TJ, synchronicity is an amazing spiritual thing that makes you notice everything. Aligning is really cool. It certainly is, buddy. Ray, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Balance and be in harmony. Yeah, well, you know what it is too, is I joke about it, but you know me. I love this. I love being all hyped up like this. If I wasn't hyped up like this, then I would think, I don't really want to do this. I look forward to this every day, and I love being like this. The breathing thing is kind of a joke. Even further, it's a way of life, says Jan. Art creation being small-scale creation compared to a whole life creation, but can be upscaled to a way of life creation. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's just what I said. It's a metaphor, right? So your life is everything, but art is a smaller scale version of it. Really, that's what it is. And you're absolutely right. Learning in a small scale and then applying, right? Learning in the small scale and then applying it to the larger scale of everything. And you know what? Maybe we don't even have to apply it to the larger scale of everything. Maybe we could take it and apply it to one piece of our life. Well, gee, I've got money, I've got relationships, I've got health, I've got fitness, I've got whatever. Pick your things, right? My friend and I call them buckets. These are the buckets, right? And I'm good with this bucket, and I'm good with this bucket, and this bucket's good too, but this one's always empty, right? Well, maybe pick another bucket. We're good at getting in the zone with our art. Maybe just pick another bucket that we're not that bad with, and think of it that way. Well, I'm gonna just create this, and I've already got it good. I'm already good with health. I'm talking personally. I'm already good with health. I don't really ever expect to be sick or anything like that. So maybe I can get in the zone with it, because I never really thought of it that way till now. And then another bucket, and then another bucket, until all of a sudden your entire life is a work of art. Jan says, TJ, yeah, it's so nice to how that happens and on so many levels. Fixed point, Jan says, fixed point view to seeing it as processes that grow and develop as a major game. Yeah, it's a game. And Ray says, oh, there you go, getting into it again. Love that. Cool beans. Oh, there's more. TJ, I'm glad I'm picking up exactly what you're putting down. Yes, you are. And Jan, fixed point view to process view perception was the game changer of all time for me. Fixed point view to process view perception was the game changer of all times for me. All of a sudden, you're not stuck anymore, but rather see ways to do anything you wish, really. Yeah, if we can think of different aspects of our life, the way we think about our art or any other part of your life that I've got this all the time and I never worry about this. Well, why don't we worry about it? Because we innately know it's good and it's always been good and we don't have these programs. So if we can learn to practice thinking that way about these other things that have the negative programs in our head, we can undo those programs. That's all I'm saying. You guys got it. We could say this a million other ways. If you're in the replay and you have another way to say it, drop it in the comments. Let me know and tag me, please, so that I come back and I see it. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. I think that's the last comment. No, it's make your buckets different color. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. Make your buckets different colors, and when you get each one filled, paint with them. Hey, that's a cool way to put it. I like that. I like that, Ray. I like it a lot. All right. Ray gets the booby prize today for the last comment. I'm going to end this one here. And guys, thank you so much for your time today, as always. This was, once again, wonderful. I love the back and forth. I really appreciate you being here and spending this time with me. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye.